To end 2025, Gunther retired John Cena, and only a month later then retired AJ Styles. Yet now if we fast forward another month, he's seemingly got no plan for WrestleMania? What are they doing here? Welcome to Wrestling Republic's weekly podcast, where three wrestling fans from across the globe discuss the biggest wrestling topic of the week, along with their individual hottest takes of the week. First up, Clark Taylor from Orange County, California, a huge golf lover and Cody Rhodes' #1 hater. Up next, Shad Tawks Graps over in Virginia, USA. He's a battle rapper and named his cat after Kairi Sane. And finally me, Ben Allison from Wales, UK. I founded Wrestling Republic, and I'll never shut up about the fact that Becky Lynch shouted me out. So without further ado, let's get into the show. 2026 is already the worst year ever.
What?
Not yet.
It just
Not
started.
Yet. Not yet.
It just started. Why?
Well, firstly, as you can tell, I'm wearing the Arsenal shirt here. Yesterday, we lost to Man City. I'm heartbroken. I am absolutely distraught. We bottled it. We did what the haters said. We bottled it. But now to make things, even worse, earlier on in the year, my GOAT, the greatest of all time, AJ Styles, he got retired by Gunther. At the time, I said that match made no sense, and guess what? Since then, it has made even less sense. And the thing which sucks is Gunther should be the biggest deal heading into WrestleMania. This man retired John Cena, he retired AJ Styles, he retired Goldberg. If that means something, I don't know if it does nowadays. But the fact of the matter is, he's got nothing, Shad, heading into WrestleMania. What on earth are they doing? They fumbled him.
This is a criminal offense by the head writers at the WWE. I was there live seeing John Cena tap like Too Short's favorite word. The greatest of all time. The never seen 17. He made him tap out in DC. And what do we have now? Nothing. This guy should be in the main event.
He should. He needs to be. He should be fighting for the championship this year, whether we want it or we don't want it. The fact is, if you retire two of the greats, you are now the guy. And the fact that the guy isn't the first name on the card, it infuriates me. I don't care if he was meant to face Rey Mysterio and Rey got injured. You change plans, right? You adjust things accordingly.
Ben, he ran out of retirements. The list ran dry. The well ran dry. Unfortunately, this time around, it's one of the goofiest things I've seen in wrestling in quite some time. Like, we thought we'd have a bunch of Seth and Punk stuff after Punk's debut, and that was goofy due to injuries, as we know. This is way goofier, because guess who's not hurt? Gunther. In this situation. At least in the Punk and Seth one, just the timing didn't align. This one is like, what are we doing here?
Well,
hang on now.
I think that's a bit of an issue with the story, though, to Clark's point. It's the fact that we ran out of retirements. Well, why are we hyper-fixating this guy to be the legend killer? Like, that's the thing that pisses me off about the WWE, is that they hyper-fixate on something, they beat it to a drum, and the drum completely just breaks through because you've been slamming it, you've been patting it way too hard. Like, Gunther doesn't need to be this retirement guy. Retiring Cena is all he needed to do, and that was supposed to catapult him to the next level.
Exactly.
100%. I'm with Shad 100%. I love the drum analogy, because I'm like, why don't we hit the foot pedal or a cymbal for once? Like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we get it. He retires people. Does every time he wrestles have to be the other guy's last match? Like,
exactly.
Is that what the gimmick is now?
But by the way, guys, Gunther would feel equally as important right now. In fact, I'd say equally important. He doesn't feel important right now, but he would feel as important after the Royal Rumble if he won that Royal Rumble match, if not more important than if he retired AJ Styles and a Carmelo Hayes or a Trick Williams retired AJ Styles instead. They would have felt like a bigger deal. That could have established them.
I mean,
Agreed.
Here's where I'm at too when it comes to the Gunther situation is you have the career killer thing, right? You have Randy Orton, the legend killer. We've not mentioned that moniker one time on this build along the way to WrestleMania. not we. I mean, on screen. We have. Yeah. I've brought it up. You've brought it up, Ben. Shad's brought it up. But on screen, it's not ever been mentioned. I mean, I don't know. How do you give Gunther a run that big and important, especially given, and we've talked about injuries already in the middle of this segment, the injuries from the Vision. That was the plan for the year, was the Vision. And you had to audible on a lot of things like that. But how do you end up in a spot where Gunther is not booked on WrestleMania and it's March 23rd? Stop it.
Abysmal.
What are we doing?
How wasn't he on last week's Raw? That man needs to be the guy who's basically the focus each and every week. And you can like him, you can hate him. I don't even care. It's not about that, right? It's not about, for a second, if he should have or should not have retired AJ Styles. The fact is he did it. And as soon as you did it, you got to deliver on it, right? It's like, let's make this political for a second. Brexit. Whether you love it, whether you hate it, once it's done, they've got to, do something, right? They can't just sit around like, shoot. We don't actually know what to do now. They've got to do something.
Have him even cut a generic promo. He's over enough. And
they don't have
he
a
got
direction
booed out of the
him.
building. He got booed out of the building after Cena. He got booed out of the building after Styles. Mm-hmm. Have him cut a generic promo. Who's next? I'll retire you too. And
do you know why I think he hasn't?
Why?
I think the reason he hasn't cut the generic promo or nothing like that is they're worried that if he comes out without an angle and just does a promo like Orton did, he's going to get no reaction, because that's how little fans are caring for him right now.
I don't know how that's possible.
It feels like we've been going on a trajectory that's been a downward slope after Cena, though. Like, I love AJ Styles, but AJ Styles in the WWE is not a bigger star than John Cena. I think AJ Styles is more talented than John Cena as an in-ring competitor. I would rank him higher as a wrestler. But we're talking about the WWE, and we're talking about John Cena, who's arguably the biggest draw that they've ever had in the industry of that company, which means a lot.
Even I'll say that too. I mean, it's factual.
Yeah. So, but we're going on, like, you say Rey Mysterio. I love Rey Mysterio. He was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Rey Mysterio is 50 plus years old. Rey Mysterio is on borrowed time within his career. And Rey Mysterio is not someone that's been a perennial winner or anything. Retiring him at Mania would do nothing. Like, it literally is just a steady slope. Slope. Nothing is going up. Maybe it's going down a little bit just because Rey is far less of a in-ring competitor than AJ is in 2026. So,
and it just takes something away from Dom as well. Like, that should be Dom's moment when it happens, whether they're tag teaming or they're wrestling against each other. It needs to be with Dom.
Yeah.
I am honestly to the point where I actually think Gunther's next rivalry has to not involve retirement. That's the only solution. This has to be something important, and it has to be like a blood feud. Interestingly enough,
I think it has to be a title feud. I think we should be here right now talking about Cody Rhodes versus Gunther heading into WrestleMania. And I don't even like that as a program, but like, that's what they've done.
I think you can't just pivot straight out of he's the career killer. In a perfect world, it'd be a month ago, and we'd have Gunther going, "I'm going to end your career, Sami Zayn," and that's a great match at WrestleMania. That would be and he's not going to do it. That's my point.
No, but I'm saying Gunther can't lose yet. Gunther has just retired John Cena and AJ Styles. This man needs to be a champion for like a year before he loses.
Ben, you don't have to have the stipulation. He's going to say, "I'm going to retire you. I'm going to beat you so bad." Then they have a great match, and guess what? Sami Zayn doesn't retire. It's pro wrestling. We can do whatever we want.
No, that is
do whatever we want, Ben.
Thing ever, Clark.
No, we can absolutely get away with that.
What?
He can beat Sami Zayn, and Sami goes, "No, I'm not done." Then you have that rivalry last through SummerSlam. You send it to Mania next year. There's all kinds of things you can do. There's all kinds of storytelling you can have coming out of that, Ben. Don't put the blinders on like you're in the Kentucky Derby on this one.
No,
don't put the blinders on like you're in the Kentucky Derby
at all.
It absolutely would have been better than this.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't have
been. Oh, no, it wouldn't. It'd be worse.
Yes.
If it was
they
Gunther, Sami Zayn.
randomly
If it's
they
Gunther,
did
Sami
Gunther versus
Zayn.
Sami Zayn, yes, that's a great direction. Don't mention careers. Just have, although I think, again, Gunther should be in a bigger match, but if you're going to do Gunther versus Sami Zayn, have Gunther come out on SmackDown and say, just laugh at Sami saying, look where you are now, look where I am. And Sami goes, well, 2 years ago at WrestleMania, I beat you. And Gunther says, well, what have you done since then? And what have I done since then? Bang, do that singles match and have Gunther go over.
There
Thing
you go.
is, like I said, I don't think they're going to do it.
No, of course not. They're not going to do it because Sami's been
everything you guys are naming is just, it's not as, if you would have told me this was the direction we're going to after he beat Cena the night I left the Capital One Arena, I would probably just be like, man, that's unfortunate. Truth be told, like, I don't think he's like done. I don't think his career is in jeopardy, but I feel like it's less to desire. And this is a couple, think about it like this. We've got Gunther where he is in the situation that he's at. Months have passed. There are two guys that got called up and that are probably significantly more over to the crowd than he is. That is Obafemi, that is Trick Williams.
You're right. You are right.
So,
I mean, I'm going to be honest here, though. This is what I'm thinking. If injuries were really this big of a problem, I almost would have said, sorry, Obafemi, we'll do that down the line. We need to do Brock Lesnar versus Gunther this year. Don't do a career match. Just do, because it's a big match at WrestleMania and Gunther needs it. Don't retire him here.
No,
just do a normal match.
No, absolutely not.
Why?
No.
I
Gunther
prefer
and Brock
Oba.
heel versus heel makes no sense.
No,
And Oba deserves the spot.
He's more
over. He's more over. Oba's more over by miles.
He is more over by miles.
He is more
but
over.
doesn't matter. This is what annoys me about the IWC with all this stuff, right? It really bothers me because people are like, I don't want Gunther to be champion. It doesn't matter. The fact is they've already invested the time, they've invested the money into him beating John Cena and beating AJ Styles. You can't, when you're halfway in, suddenly pull out. It makes no sense. It absolutely doesn't. And Clark, I can see a reaction. That's not where I was going with that.
Get
the mind out of the gutter.
Sorry.
Crazy work, bro. I think they also don't have enough baby faces with that much merit to his level of what he did after Cena to like just continuously build that type of heat and momentum. Like to me, Gunther feels like he's back where he was like last year. He's like in that little space where he's like teetering upper mid card to main event. After Cena, I thought he was a just perennial, this is the next main event guy. He is going to be a potential heel of the company. You know, kind of gave a little bit of like a Triple H-esque to me. Like, yeah, people are going to hate him. He's going to hold the title. He's going to do his job. And now it's just like, I don't know. I feel like they don't, like you said, they don't got a plan for him. And we got Manias in 3 weeks. So
it's
crazy.
Close.
I didn't even realize that. 3 weeks, you're right.
Sketchy. It's getting a little close.
Oh, no.
Time change. It's getting a little close.
It's not good.
Yeah,
It's not good at all. I can't for the life of me work out what they're doing at this point, but he has to be on the card. It's almost too late. Like, I'd almost think, is there a wrestler out there who they can bring out of retirement to get beat by Gunther and can just pay a boatload of cash to be like
Taker?
big WrestleMania match? Taker?
Re-retire Undertaker?
I'm thinking Stone Cold, to be honest. Because Stone Cold, I think, could go. Maybe.
I would say if you were going to do it, I would do like actually a lesser name than that. I think we're shooting too high.
No, it's WrestleMania.
Do
it's
DDP.
got to be a huge name.
DDP.
Not big enough name.
come on.
Oh. Okay, do Rodman.
It's not. I'm going to
Do
agree
one of
with
the
that.
celebrity Hall of Famers. Do Rodman.
Batista, screw it. Bring Batista because he never officially retired in kayfabe.
Triple H.
He ain't gonna be ready, bro.
Triple H can't
Triple H
wrestle.
that man got a heart monitor, bro.
That chop would be not healthy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I don't want to make any jokes on that.
Sorry, that's terrible. Monster shout out,
I'm
Mr. Levesque.
literally stopping you there.
I think you're doing great.
Pause.
I don't think you're doing great as a booker, but I don't want to see you
No, I mean health-wise.
I don't want to see you. I'm glad you're doing good health-wise.
I don't want to see you die. Shad Tawks Graps 2026.
Big fan.
I want to see him live.
Mr. H.
I want to see him live.
Bro, the fact that his main move is literally chopping you in your chest, that would be the worst opponent. That's the worst suggestion.
As soon as I thought about it, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like,
I'd rather Shawn Michaels.
I know. I've got the name.
I'd rather see HBK's hobbling himself go in there.
That's the name. Shawn Michaels has got to redeem himself after his last match being that dreadful tag match. Comes back and Gunther just squashes him at WrestleMania in like 2 minutes.
Ric Flair.
And it's dreadful. None of us want it. But it's better than doing nothing. And it's a better retirement than Shawn Michaels gassed in the corner, laying on Triple H's heart.
Angle?
Well, you've had a retirement match.
We keep naming people that already had retirement matches.
Well, Shawn Michaels has unretired since his retirement match. So that's why he would make sense.
What about
Sting? Austin's a good suggestion, I think.
Austin. Yeah. Let's do Austin. Let's make a call.
No, not Austin. It's not going to be. He's doing the Kit Wilson segment.
Oh, there's another main event star who hasn't been on the card yet this year and who doesn't have a match. Another WrestleMania main event star. In fact, he main evented WrestleMania last year. And I'm not talking about John Cena. He's already retired him. Travis Scott. Have Gunther retire Travis Scott at WrestleMania.
That's a good one. I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Full circle.
I mean, he got Pat McAfee already.
Jeez. Travis Scott's gonna punch him hard by accident, and Gunther's literally gonna kill him.
Just absolutely accidentally mess him up for life.
Bro, if he puts him in like a chokehold, that guy is going to his neck is gonna snap.
The other thing is, bless Travis Scott, but he's so skinny, like he might cave his freaking chest.
Yeah, he's the size of like Gunther's ankle, bro.
He might literally dent his throat.
Powerhouse Hobbs. I mean, that dude has somehow aged 7 years since joining the company. Still don't know how that's possible. But
seems like it's
happened.
like 27 years now. They're like, actually,
where is he?
His age just goes up and up and up. Well,
bro,
basically, somebody wrote his wrong age on his Wikipedia, and just everybody believed that age. Like, he's done nothing wrong here. Nothing wrong.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
And unfortunately, his highlight of his career is that he has to talk in a Stephanie McMahon interview. Like, jeez, bro.
Just put him out of his misery. Retire
It is a good interview, though. The interview is good.
It is a good interview. I want to see him wrestle, man.
It was a great interview, though. Maybe that's his finishing move.
He's definitely winning the Andre the Giant Memorial.
Yeah, on Friday before Mania.
Have Gunther retire Jelly Roll. Let's stop that there, too. Anyway, guys. Anyway. Let's move on, shall we, to complain some more about certain things, because it is time for our takes of the week. I almost gave away my take then.
This is Ben Allison's Take of the Week.
Why does tag team wrestling never matter on the main roster? Sure, under Vince McMahon, I expected it. He did not care about tag team wrestling. But when Triple H came in, I expected it all to change. I mean, after all, the NXT tag team division felt arguably at times as important as the Men's World Championship picture in NXT. Yet for some reason, since he's taken over the main roster, outside of that Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match, it has not felt like main events. I mean, they've had so many talented tag teams, especially on SmackDown, yet all of them have been stuck in the lower mid-card. The title matches haven't mattered. They haven't been on PLEs more often than not. It makes basically no sense to me. And the cherry on top of this disgusting cake is the fact that in their second match as a tag team, Damian Priest and R-Truth have won the tag team championships. I like both guys. I actually think the tag team together is fun. But the fact is them winning the tag titles in their second match together, that is an insult to tag team wrestling. Guys, what is going on?
Let me start off real quick, bro. Braxium, the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, the Creed Brothers, Los Garza. You have a beautiful, rich division, and all of these guys, it is horrible. Like, me and Clark literally talked about Fraxium as tag team of the year all 2024. They got called up to the main roster, and they have been in utter purgatory. It has been abysmal. They lost a main event match to Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews. Talk about a makeshift tag team. That's the Temu version of R-Truth and Damian Priest. If you ask me, this is horrible. Well, tag team wrestling does not matter at all on the main roster. The women's one gets a little bit more of a boost, but let's be honest with you. That's just a cop-out because they don't know how to book individual women's segments without it being circulating a title. So that's why they make all these makeshift tag teams. So yeah, it's absolutely garbage.
It is a complete joke. And you mentioned the Creeds, right? I thought the Creeds were going to be the next New Day, the next Usos, the next big tag team in that WWE tag team division, right? Because they're both super young. They were improving massively week by week in NXT. It was incredible how much they were improving. But they got to the main roster and, like, that's it. They haven't done anything.
They're not even American Alpha.
Well, Julius went to Duke, so that's part of the problem there, I think. 100%. But at the end of the day, I'm 100% with Shad. Like, Fraxium, we put over. This has been a problem. It's long been a problem, but it's a WWE problem specifically, too. Like, the can they coexist storyline, like, just that's break glass in case of emergency. That's just what we do. We're like, wait, these guys are an odd couple. So let's make them a tag team. And you know what it makes me think about is just how impressive what the Usos and the New Day actually accomplished over the last decade, because the environment hasn't drastically changed. The environment has not drastically changed.
No, I think the Usos and New Day were given, especially the New Day and the Usos too, for that
because
matter,
they were that good. I think that's the only reason.
They were given better creative than the Creeds have gotten. The Creeds literally have not been given a single opportunity. They have just been Chad Gable's lackeys, right?
The New Day were preachers. The initial gimmick was like borderline racism.
No, they were literally the preacher gimmick for like 2 weeks, and then
that's my point.
And then
they had the Usos put Icy Hot on
legitimately
FTR's back.
Yeah,
but like
they
that's still
did not have great
creative you could do something with. Creeds have been given no creative that they could do anything with.
Well, and I think that goes to a bit of Clark's point. The Usos and the New Day are anomalies because they're that captivating as in-ring competitors, but they're that captivating as characters. Where FTR is another. Truth be told, the Revival is a very similar situation to all the teams what they were naming. Like, they were those dudes in NXT. They got called up to the main roster and they became jokes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're seeing that in like real time with Fraxium. We're seeing it with the Creeds, DIY. I mean, to be honest with you, like
that was the most shocking.
Did it yourself?
Yeah, man. Like, we got Johnny Gargano like planking.
He lays on his stomach mostly is his new gimmick.
And also, everybody thought Motor City Machine Guns were just gonna come into like gallop their way into the WWE and become the greatest tag team there. I saw people like, yeah, they're gonna get to go against the Usos and go against. No, they're not.
No,
they might have a random match on Monday night or on Friday night, but they're not feuding with nothing. They feel so minuscule.
It's a vanity
on the
project.
Main roster.
It's a vanity project.
Thing.
It's for one portion of the audience.
They won the tag titles, like basically immediately when they joined. The issue has been their booking since, and it's not even them. It is tag team wrestling. Triple H no longer cares about it.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing to that point. I'm just saying in general, like people. I remember there was a conversation. Obviously, look, I'm not gonna tell somebody where or where they shouldn't sign. I think you have your own creative decision. You have your own morals. You have your own financial reasons, whatever it may be. I'm not telling them where they should or should not sign. But the conversation was, everybody was like, well, they're going to have way better of a chance to shine in the WWE compared to anywhere else, whether that stayed in TNA, whether they went to AEW, whether they went over to Japan, whatever it may be. And I don't think that's the case that you're talking about them as a tag team.
I think that's hard to argue. I really do at this point now that, like, AEW probably would have been a better fit matches-wise for them. But again, there's other benefits of WWE. And I'm not saying anyone should go anywhere or whatever. Like, my pure point is here is why on earth? Like, why? Like, I'm genuinely asking, why do we think Triple H has changed his mentality? He's like, do people actually not care about tag team wrestling? What is it?
I think genuinely it comes from a place of just the way that the roster is stacked. There's not enough tag team rivalries there. It hasn't been established enough. There should be. I don't even blame Triple H directly, because you look at the Street Profits and stuff. Here's the problem. I think there's just too much conjecture about splitting up every good tag team every single time there is one. That's part of the problem, is that you look at, and we've mentioned the IWC. I'm not trying to trash anybody. We're a part of it and everything. But at the same time, like, you look at the conjecture around a tag team, it's always like, well, how do we get to them wrestling
You are
each
right.
other?
You are right on that, but that shouldn't mean that they.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to explain. I was trying to answer the question there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But the thing is this: in that situation with the Street Profits, I think it's more so people were just excited about the idea of Montez Ford being a single star, because he's actively talked about it too, where he says he has aspirations to be that, and a lot of people are like, "Well, this is a budding guy that could potentially be a main event champion if you give him the opportunity." Now we're so far removed from that idea. I just worry if he's ever going to be back in the ring in the WWE. Like,
I think he's going to come back looking like, just absolutely massive, because he was bulking season last time we saw him at that NXT live event, right? So I'm presuming that's going to turn back into muscle, and he's going to really muscle up a bit. But like,
what is that? So what's the end goal of that though? Like, you can work on your physique. That's fine. There's so many people that work on their physique. That doesn't give you a golden ticket to be like instantly booked better. That's the issue. And he's able to be booked. Like, he wasn't some skinny dude though. Like,
not to open up a can of worms, but I'm gonna do it right now because this has always bothered me. So guess who else changed their body over the last few years? Oh, his tag team partner Angelo Dawkins. And guess what he did during that process? Worked. And so I understand the idea of Montez Ford bulking up, and I love the idea of it for a potential singles run or whatnot. But there's got to be something else there. Obviously, also with Bianca being off screen, we know that these people have real lives. But changing his body is not a reason that the Street Profits aren't featured more heavily, because since WrestleMania 39, you had a tag team that, to me, could have been the new modern version of either the New Day or the Usos. With the Street Profits, they were over. When we dropped the red cups at 39, we went crazy. Ask Chaos, me and him were like hugging like children.
Yeah.
As soon as they played the song, it was just awesome.
Right.
And I don't understand it. It's been absolutely fumbled.
The faction with Bobby Lashley destroyed them for whatever reason, and that absolutely sucks, and it still doesn't make much sense.
It's just a huge mistake.
Triple H just dislikes Bobby Lashley that much.
Well, he dislikes all. You know what? People can say what they want to say. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of a relationship, but MVP spoke about it nonstop on his podcast, and people call him bitter, hatred, whatever it may be. He's speaking his mind, and he's speaking about his experience, and he's speaking about the guy who does book the shows and how he kind of viewed the vision of that faction. They tried to say, "Oh, we could just make a new Hurt Syndicate." You can't. It's not that easy.
No.
But I love Bobby Lashley, but he's not MVP. He's not a natural talker. He's not a leader like to that standpoint. He is the imposing threat, and that's where the issue lied. I love the Street Profits, but they're not heels. Nobody wants to see them go. Nobody wants to see them go heel at all.
Exactly. So, I will say this, though, to combat your point, Clark. I do think that when people are changing their bodies, especially when they're gaining muscle, it probably is better to leave them off TV. Purely because if you saw him at the NXT live event, if he was on TV, people would meme him. Like, it would just be horrible.
So what? So
it's
what?
better for him to come back and
what
look
do you mean
amazing, but it doesn't take also like 18 months to.
I don't know. Like I think in an industry where bodybuilding is an aspect, I mean, even Cody Rhodes brought it up. I think that we should be more conscious of the fact that people are going to try to change their bodies to adapt character-wise, and I think that's impressive. It's like method acting in movies and whatnot. I think it's a testament to how dedicated you are to your craft. So the fact that Angelo got in shape the way that he did,
no, it is, but you don't have to be on TV during the process.
True.
I get, you know what? I get what you're saying because we've seen it happen. Like on the flip side, we see it with Orton, right? Orton got significantly bigger. He was out for a while. Yeah. We just saw it with Swerve. He was gone for a few months. I just saw it literally with the. I think you know what the weird thing is. The parallel is because they're so similarly character-wise, but they're very different. The Private Party.
Yep.
Like Mark Quinn is significantly bigger now than he was.
How about Pac?
Yeah.
How about
That's
Pac?
true as well. That is true.
That guy's
he was injured.
AJ Styles coming off injury.
It doesn't guarantee you
booked.
better booking. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. Let's get to the next
There we are. Maybe Montez Ford has faked his own injury, put on some weight, and he's going to come back absolutely ripped, and he's going to be the next John Cena.
What an absurd thing to say, but I respect it.
It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Anyway, up next, Clark, what is your take of the week?
This is Clark Taylor's Take of the Week.
Without a doubt in my mind, this is the time for Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton to pull this double turn at WrestleMania a la 13, maybe even a little bit a la 18 with Stone Cold, with The Rock and Hulk Hogan. At the end of the day, this Vegas crowd is going to cheer for Randy Orton. There's no debate about it. They were chanting for Randy when he was beating up Matt Cardona, and I loved every minute of it. And they were chanting for Randy when he RKO'd Cody in Chicago. I was there for that too at Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton is going to be the one that fans cheer for in this, no matter how hard they try to shove down our throats that he's a heel. I think the only solution is if you really look in to what has been said on screen. Cody put the voices in Randy's head. Cody put the voices in Randy's head, his own mentor's head. He did it. He said, I want the monster. I want the monster. Randy has always been his mentor, and I think given that scenario, Randy Orton has always wanted to actually see Cody with the voices in his head, to see Cody be the monster, to see what Cody's capable of if he has no conscience, if he doesn't care about destroying others, if he doesn't care about any of that stuff, what that would look like. I think by the time we get to Mania, Randy's going to drive Cody so crazy, he goes there too. Because the crowd's already going to be rooting for Randy. The crowd's already in Randy's corner. Cody's going to go there too. And we'll see his little buddies, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, show up and help him out. And it's double turn city. Like WrestleMania 13, Cody stands tall. We do not get what we want, which is Randy Orton winning his 15th world title at WrestleMania.
Right. Do you know what, Clark? From a pure creative aspect, I love what you just said. But have you not been listening to a single word I've been saying on this podcast for the last 2 months?
No, I try not to listen
somebody
to you.
mentions brilliant. They're not going to turn Cody Rhodes heel. Why? Because this company is a business, and they've got nobody else who draws the way he draws, who's a babyface who's younger than him. And they're not going to make the star of the company someone older than him. They're not going to do that because, again, there could be an injury at any time. There's a lot of factors involved. They are not going to do that. They're not going to turn Cody Rhodes heel until they have a bigger babyface who's younger.
They have Roman Reigns to be the babyface.
Who's not there every
Cody
week.
can
He's
always turn back. This isn't a long heel run.
But
you
can't,
what they
you
did
can't
with
fall
Cena
again
in
at
his
that
retirement
level.
tour. This isn't over yet.
That's because he
Ben.
was retiring. Cody Rhodes, they built him as this face, right, for many years. If you turn him face, kids aren't going to cheer for him again for another few years until it's the next generation.
Let's be very clear. They're not going to cheer for him again in 3 weeks.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one because I like. So when you initially told us this was your take and you didn't give us any insight of it, I was like, nah. But how you kind of displayed it, it's so out of the box and so left field where I feel like it would be just genius if they did do that. But I'm in the middle right now because I do agree with Ben to an extent where I feel like it is risky to turn Cody heel because of that. A lot of that reasons with him being the top babyface, but nobody wants him to win at Mania. Like,
well, you say that's wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. Look in the comments. Look in the comments. Look in the comments of WWE's posts. Look in the comments even of the YouTube video I did booking Randy Orton this week. Look in the comments, by the way. People who aren't big IWC people who are casuals do want Cody to win.
Randy. At the end of
hardcore
SmackDown,
fans want Randy to win.
Smashing Cardona. He's doing everything in his power.
Here's a couple comments. Randy loses, we riot. Heel Randy Orton is the best. Heel Randy Orton is amazing. Finally, heel Randy is the best.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is reacting to the turn.
It's so great to see Randy Orton from 2009 to the 2026
yeah, but no,
version.
Yeah, that's
want him to win.
What I'm saying to you. That is not what I'm saying. You're always looking in the post of the... I'm saying... Yeah, they did cheer on SmackDown. You're completely right, and that's a bigger issue.
He's not the baby face, but he will be the one with the
more vocal. There needs to be a top baby face, and there isn't one.
More vocal.
It's just Cody.
The more vocal portion of this Las Vegas crowd, Ben, I assure you,
they won't.
Will be in Randy's corner.
Yes.
Oh, I guarantee you.
They won't.
They're gonna sing the. Of course, 100%. Cody's gonna get reaction with the whoa. We'll get that, and then once the bell rings. Or in, RKO, all of that.
Wait till the guy on the phone. Wait till the guy on the phone's Arn Anderson.
Remember last year when everybody said this was going to happen?
Anderson?
And guess what happened, right? Guess what happened at WrestleMania? The Cody chants were still louder than the Cena chants.
No, that's how they piped it in. The WWE is doing that because I was in that building and they were not louder.
Which is
absolutely not.
Sounds louder, but they were. Because I checked vlogs when you said that at the time, and people were chanting Cody. You could hear it on those vlogs.
Oh yeah, like up in the 300 section.
But here's the thing, Ben. There is a massive
maybe up in the 300 section, not by ringside.
There's a massive difference. Like nobody knows what a heel Cena was, so it was just kind of like, people were like, "You broke my heart," blah blah blah, whatever it may be. Right? He's the perennial good guy.
They were doing that. Everyone was celebrating it.
I had my word life up.
Yeah, Jordy was in tears damn near on the live stream. Respect to Jordy.
Yeah.
And he turned heel. He joined him.
It felt like Jordy.
As he should.
It felt like Jordy, like Mickey Mouse, like
I've got Jordy's wristband from Survivor Series here still that I need to ship him.
Here's the other thing, guys. Randy Orton, people want this to, like, 09 Randy Orton is like a damn, like a folk figure to people. People just love him. They want him to literally punt this dude's head off. They want him to go as evil as he can. If he could RKO Brandy, I think people would have a massive pop.
If he RKO Brandy, the crowd would go ballistic. If he punts anyone. What if he punted?
I'm not disagreeing that it would be good creative, right? I'm not denying that. But the fact is they don't have a babyface to take that position. So
no, the biggest babyface in the WWE right now, you don't understand it, Ben. This is what you're not getting. The biggest babyface in the WWE right now is Randy Orton.
That's what I do.
Even being booked as a heel.
Kids are going to school with lunch boxes.
Hold on.
No, he is the most popular in the men's on the men's side.
But that's not because of a baby. That's not. So here's the thing. I don't agree with him being the biggest babyface. I think he's a more popular figure than Cody Rhodes as a heel.
Period.
This is the thing. Dynamics of babyfaces and heels are so different now, bro. Like the WWE has watered down babyfaces completely.
That's such a good call, Shad.
You are right.
Because it's like, think about like the 90s Bulls and how dominant they were. People rooted for them like baby faces, but they were the favorites in every game they played, right? And it feels like that at times with the WWE, the way that no, I think that's I really like the way that you said that.
Well, the biggest comparison is back in the day, only baby faces would have year-long title reigns, right? And heels would only hold the titles for a few weeks, right? To be a transitional champion. Whereas now, it's the heels who have the long reigns and the baby faces tend to have really short reigns.
It is interesting there when you look at that kind of stuff.
Because it used to be like superheroes. Like Hulk Hogan felt like Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's literally different now. We don't have, God rest Hulk Hogan. God rest like a lot of not God rest John Cena, but John Cena's out of the picture. God rest his career. But like, you don't have guys that are like that white meat babyface thing don't hit like it used to. People like. And maybe you could blame Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe you could blame The Rock for that dynamic.
It's just cultural. It's just cultural.
But Cena, I don't know. It's
Cody is the closest to it because I say this all the time. They've deliberately not made Cody Rhodes the perfect babyface, right? He is a flawed human, but he always admits he is flawed. And because of that, fans are behind him, right? And we get the small portion of the IWC who cheer, who boo him or whatever, or complain about him online.
Just call me out when
and
I'm sitting right here. Sitting right here.
People, right? He does. People, though, when, like, for example, if Randy Orton says Cody Rhodes' name on SmackDown, some people will boo him. You'll hear that. But then as soon as Cody Rhodes comes out, whether it's his theme or as soon as he's in the ring with a mic talking, they'll cheer Cody Rhodes and it'll be the pop of the night. Right? Because as soon as Cody's there, the cheers overpowers the boos every single time. It's happened every single time in WWE. And that's the difference between WWE and AEW. AEW is hardcore fans, and hardcore fans have turned on Cody Rhodes. But the casuals, they love him.
Are you saying he's polarizing? We could have skipped a step.
I could have said that in one word. My bad. Anyway, up next, guys, let's move on to Shad's Take of the Week.
This is Shad Tawks Graps Take of the Week.
AEW has booked Jade Cargill far better than the WWE. And you want to know why that's the case? The WWE has copied the blueprint for Jade Cargill going into WrestleMania season. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Jade Cargill in AEW was the most dominant force in all of women's wrestling. So much, they created a new title for her. And all she did was win, 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 no matter what. But what happened after that? You built this dominant figure, someone who's such a key name. She had people going at her, and she needed a bit of protection. What was culminated? The baddies. Kiera Hogan, Red Velvet, and she had a little bit of a faction with her that was able to do her dirty work, and she felt like a mob boss. Let's go to WWE now. Her booking has been the biggest roller coaster of all time. They didn't have her do anything partaking after her Rumble debut. They had her in the tag team with Bianca Belair. She got shelved. She went against Naomi, and just when you thought things were going to kind of take off for her, they didn't, because both women in that storyline left, and then she felt lost once again. We do have her as the world champion, but she doesn't defend the title. Someone who would beat people week upon week, stack wins in the other company, is not doing anything. And yes, I understand world champions don't defend their titles as often in the WWE moniker, but this is somebody that people feel like, she can't wrestle. This whole mantra of her can't wrestle. Well, how is she going to prove can she wrestle if you don't allow her to wrestle? How is she going to feel like a factor if you don't have her on your weekly television? What happened this last Friday? They gave her a faction. Mia Yim, B-Fab. It feels so coded to what they did on AEW, and they have her with a faction going into Mania against Rhea Ripley, who is a imposing dominant figure. To me, WWE should have, I have no issues with copying the sauce. Jade Cargill is Jade Cargill at the end of the day. This is why she is a dominant figure. But you should have kind of done it from the get-go. You should have done it maybe with one of these mid-card titles. You should have done it maybe in NXT. Whatever it may be, that could have given you what you signed, what we signed up for. And to me, she's been mishandled so much, and it seems like now they're just kind of breaking the glass and going to old reliable. So, yeah.
Do you know what, Shard? I agree with you. I really do. I think it is completely the correct decision, to your point, to give her now B-Fab and Michin, because also I think it's brilliant for B-Fab and Michin. I think finally now they've got something of substance to do, and I'm looking forward to it. But it does make Jade Cargill just look, you said it, more boss, right? I don't want to make that comparison because the Tribal Chief, that was similar, but I love it.
I've never agreed more. Shad, I couldn't be more on the same page. And here's the funny part. You look at the AEW run and whatnot, and it was almost impossible to be critical of Jade Cargill during that run because she was such a new entity. And the look and everything, the way that she was booked in AEW, she was very well protected. There's no debating that. This is not, I'm not trying to make a point like she wasn't. And yes,
No,
she had various groups and everything, but she was very well protected. She goes into WWE. I think what's most interesting is the complaints about Jade are like, oh, she's not good enough wrestling wise, and things that you mentioned, Shad. You add the other two, the one thing that stands out character wise, outside of her being chiseled out of stone and looking like a star, talking like a star, and working like a star, the one thing that stands out is it annoys people that she gets opportunities and that she's such a big deal. Now we add the numbers advantage too. And guess what it's going to continue to do? Annoy people. She could be the biggest heel in the women's division on SmackDown the rest of the year. I have no doubt about that in my mind.
I think
with
she
this
will
scenario,
be as well.
and I absolutely adore it. I am on the exact same page, but it's also, to your point, a carbon copy, hot off the press. Off the press.
Copy paste.
We've seen this before.
Yep, you're right. It feels like what's that movie, Groundhog Day, where you just wake up every day and it's the same day. It feels like
51st dates. 51st dates.
Yeah, it really does. But the thing I will say about it though is the other benefit is we've complained about her booking for the last few months, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to defend it now. It still absolutely stinks, but at least now it wasn't a waste because it's come full circle and it makes sense storyline-wise. So I'm actually less mad now at her booking over the last few months than I was before. It still should have been a lot better, but there's promise.
For sure. And my take is not more so saying a complaint towards her. It's just okay, well, finally, more than anything. Like, it's one of those things where I'm going to be honest with you. I've gotten a little annoyed by a lot of the online discourse that you have towards her, but I can kind of see where people are coming from in regards to it, you know? But to what Clark said, the brilliance of Jade Cargill is that she is not blind to anything. She reads everything. I think she literally probably goes through every single damn tweet that's mentioned in her name, and she's using it as fuel, and she's using it as a character. Oh, there's online, like there's rumbles of her backstage and how she's talked to people, and that's kind of bled through, and it's not a work or shoot. Well, we could make it work now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna use those lines in my promo towards you. And the scariest thing is a confident character, and that's what she is. Yeah. She's got the utmost confidence, and that's why she works, and that's why she's given these opportunities.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And I also, part of me still thinks that some of these shoots are actually works as well.
I agree. I totally agree.
Schworks.
And I don't care if
shoots.
They're Schworks.
Schworks is the news.
No, Schworks. They're Schworks.
But here's the other thing too. I don't care if they unless it's become disrespectful to a point where it's like, you know, people talk about each other's families, whatever it may be. All right, then I'm like, relax. This is just trash talk.
It is.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't even say that much bad about Rhea, and I love Rhea, but she didn't really say anything like across the line.
No, I didn't even
like she made a suggestion. She's always with creative, and like, don't get me wrong, I think that was dumb.
I doubled down on that one.
Yes, but it's like, how are you going to pay that off when it comes to kayfabe, right? Like, how are you going to do that? That's a little bit dumb because then we're going to get all
begging for a result of the match.
We're going to break the fourth wall. Exactly, the fourth wall.
Yeah, it'll be the eighth wall, Ben. We've got this.
Oh gosh, it's going to turn into the Marvel Cinematic Universes with the multiverses now, is it? Where it's just
WWE Real Unreal. It's the newest series on Netflix.
It's a paradox. Oh my gosh. It's like, what's it? What's that theory
Inception.
What's that theory where you could take like a piece of paper and like you half it? They talk about it in the Marvel films, and you put like a pen through it, and they're like that's how like a multiverse. There's a term. I don't know. Who knows?
It's not Pythagorean.
Who knows what I'm on about? But yeah,
that's
like
the only theory I know.
We're getting Science Republic.
A plus B equals C.
Good maths. Without further ado, it's time for our faction of the week. I'm going to kick us off with match of the week, and I'm going Hangman Adam Page versus MJF from AEW Revolution. Yes, technically this was last week, but remember last week we had to record on a Saturday, so I said AEW Revolution would carry through to this week. And this match, I understand, very divisive, right? Don't get me wrong, it was very brutal, but for the story they told, I thought it worked, and I really enjoyed it, if I'm being honest, Clark.
Could not agree more. I was in the building, watched it back two times, not even just once.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the match of the week. Are you kidding me? It was off the charts. It landed when you were there, and it re-landed when you rewatch it. Doesn't get better than that.
Big call.
You guys are just ultimate sickos. I respect it, but I'm going to go with a different match that happened at Revolution. Ooh. I'm going with Bandito versus Andrade El Idolo. Man, these are two of the best in-ring workers in the entire world. Two of the best Mexican talents in the entire world. They delivered.
Great pick.
They stood and delivered if they were on NXT. But up next, let's do Standout of the Week. And I'm going to go for Dragon Lee. I love this guy. I mean, he'd be my faction of the week every single week if I could. He really, really would. But his match against Penta on Raw, he showed how incredible he is. Can we please give him like some actual storylines other than him being squashed by Gunther? Because he deserves better. He does.
I hear you, and I think it's fair. Who do you think I've got for my standout, bruv? Give me Will Ospreay. Come on, guys. Give me Will Ospreay. The return, the Dynamite match, all of the above, none of the below. This guy doesn't elevate, he levitates. It's not even close.
I'm surprised by both of y'all. I'm going with the ruler, Obafemi, making Brock Lesnar look like a bag of feathers, just lifting that big mammoth of a man and slamming him to the ground. I still have goosebumps from last Monday.
It was a brilliant segment. I can't disagree with that for a second. If I wasn't the Dragon Lee mark, I'd agree with you, but I am, so I've gone with him. Up next, Talker of the Week, Randy Orton on SmackDown. I absolutely loved everything they did with Orton this week on SmackDown, because when he did that first promo, I thought that was a little bit of a letdown. He goes backstage and I realize, okay, I see what they're doing here. This is going to be an all-night-long thing, and we are going to see him take out Matt Cardona. He did that. He did two fantastic promos on it, and I mean, look, he was the highlight of the episode, so that's my talk of the week.
This fella is about to join an exclusive club, my friends.
Ooh.
As a 3-time talker of the week on my faction of the week.
Ooh.
Tying Maxwell Jacob Friedman for the most talker of the week awards. I'm going with Danhausen again. He can't miss on a backstage segment. He can't miss. He cannot miss. Every single one is gold. It's Danhausen.
That is unbelievable. Love the ladder segment, though, on SmackDown.
It was excellent. He cursed both ladders.
That's hilarious. I'm going with, I think I can safely say right now, currently, maybe the best women's wrestler when it comes to promo abilities, and that is Tekla. Her promo last night on Collision was amazing, tying everything with the Toni Storm injury and basically saying it's better you injure yourself before I, kill you. So good.
Brilliant stuff. Tag Team of the Week. Great match at Revolution, FTR Young Bucks. So FTR are my tag team of the week. They got the win, but they are going to lose to Christian Cage soon, right? And that sociopath, Adam Copeland, who's with him. But it's going to really be a handicap match because we all know Christian Cage basically carries that team.
Totally fair, totally fair, totally fair. I'm going to give this one to R-Truth and Damian Priest. Chalk it up. This is a one-time win. You deserve it, though. And I'm stoked for you guys, but there's no way they ever win this award again.
I'm going with Priest and Truth as well. Look, man, those are my guys. I'm so happy that they won, and
awesome.
we're finally out of the MFT purgatory.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like the most, like, out of us three, I'm the most WWE guy here, right? I tend to lean more that way, while you guys seem to tend to more go a bit AEW when it comes to Faction of the Week. How on earth can you say they've had a better week than FTR when they had that match with the Bucks?
They won the titles.
They won the titles.
And FTR retained the titles in like a 5-star classic.
Yeah, but we expected it because they retained. They already had them. That's the difference.
I did
You
not
answered your own question. You just answered your own question.
Little Jimmy's happy.
Yeah, dude.
Fair enough.
Not only that, his big brother John Cena. Can you imagine how proud he is? His childhood
man.
hero.
Must be.
You know, he
used the move that John taught him.
He made Triple H give him a title, bro.
Yeah.
That's true. Right, up next show of the week. I'm not going to give it to Revolution because I thought the highs were fantastic, the lows were very low, but mostly it was a terribly paced show. And I think pacing of a show is massively important. I know I do, right? It's massively important, and the pacing, it was way too long. The crowd got absolutely knackered by the end of it, right? It was just, there was too many matches. You take away 2 or 3 matches, and I think that could have been a show of the year contender. It won't be. This week, I'm going to go with SmackDown purely because from start until finish, it was must watch. Every single segment, and for a 3-hour show, that is tough. And SmackDown, like we've been saying over the last year, has sucked. So the fact that it's had a few good weeks now, including this week, has to be my show of the week.
Okay, shh. I know Ben can hear me, but he's out of his mind. The show of the week's freaking Revolution. You're out of your mind. That's delusional. That's crazy. The pay-per-view was off the charts.
You like
Everyone
left for
loved
one of the
it.
matches.
Yeah, because there's like 11 of them. You have to go to the restroom. By the way,
go between the matches.
Nobody holds it. Nobody holds it for that long of a wrestling show or any sporting event.
Between the matches.
That's ridiculous.
You
You're
go
going to
between
try to
the matches.
criticize me for restroom breaks. I'm going to need you to text me every time you have to go during a show. Seriously. Let's go bathroom break for bathroom break and see who wins.
Unless you drinking a lot, but
let's see who wins.
I agree with Clark. I'm going with Revolution. It's show of the week.
Unbelievable.
Shout out Peanut Butter Whiskey.
Promotion of the week. AEW had a great week. They didn't have a great week. Dynamite sucked. But outside of Dynamite, they had a great week. But I'm going to give it to WWE anyway because it's Road to WrestleMania. WWE on the road to WrestleMania, especially within it's only a few weeks to go, is always amazing. I don't understand why they can't put that much effort in all year round. I will never understand that. But this week, WWE.
Well, once again, my very close personal friend Ben Allison is completely wrong here. It's AEW this week, but I totally do hear where you're coming from. Other than that, I think you're wrong.
I got AEW as well.
Dynamite sucked, guys. Even you said it.
No, it didn't. I liked it. And following the NCAA tournament, we're down 6.
It wasn't bad.
I
mean, AEW, like, sickos were saying
9.
that was bad.
Now we're down 9, Ben. Look what you've done.
Collision was good.
Look what you have done.
There's 2 collisions this week as well. But anyway, women's wrestler, Tekla, has to be. She is killing it at the minute in AEW. Brilliant match against Chris Statlander. Also, like you mentioned, Jad, a brilliant promo on Collision as well. She is a star, and she's become a star in a very short amount of time.
100%. I really, really, really love the Tekla call, but I'm actually going to go with Mina Shirakawa for filling in that match for Toni Storm. She just had an excellent appearance on Dynamite, the one that you, as aforementioned, you hated. But I did enjoy that match. I did enjoy that match. I thought that one was off the charts.
Breaking news, guys. My women's wrestler of the week is a friend of the show, a young lady that beat Mercedes Moné at Rev Pro, Alexis Falcon.
Can I change my pick?
No.
Shoot. Oh no. Monster shout out Alexis Falcon though. That I messed this up. Clark, I've never felt more guilty. Alexis, yes, congratulations and much deserved. Seriously, one of the best people we've ever met.
She is fantastic. Really, really bright future, no doubt about it. And like you guys said, former guest of Wrestling Republic Spotlight. Up next, men's wrestler of the week. And I'm going to take a short flight over. Well, it's not really a short flight, a really long flight over to New Japan for this, because I am picking someone who won the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the final of the New Japan Cup this week. And that is Callum Newman. I've been really critical of this guy, right? I really, really have been. And the reason I have been is, at times, it felt like he was trying to be a B-Tech Will Ospreay. His selling was not very good. And I think he was put in too big of a position in that G1 a couple of years ago way too soon, because it exposed him. It really, really did. He has improved so much since then. He has. He's won the New Japan Cup, fully deserved, and I think he's going to be the guy to carry New Japan from, an international perspective for the next 5 years or so. I just really hope he does stay in New Japan for quite a bit of time and not just jump to AEW, because that promotion needs some people to actually stay, especially international stars. Clark, what's your pick?
I don't care what anyone says. The men's wrestler of the week's Randy Orton. He basically killed off two people. You didn't need a zebra between Cody and
well, that was last week.
I get it. Between Cody though and Cardona, he's just the role that he's on. This is as good as you could ask. He's turned the clock back.
Yes,
it's too late now. You can put as many blood splatters on the shirts as you want and ask us to root against him. He will be the most popular professional wrestler in Allegiant Stadium at WrestleMania. And I told you it would be the case because I watched it happen at Elimination Chamber.
You were absolutely right.
I'm going with Will Ospreay, man. Obviously, he made his big return back last week at Revolution, or this past week at Revolution. But he beat Vanilla Baby. He beat Vanilla Baby this past Wednesday, and I don't know why that's his name, but he beat him.
Fair enough. I mean, you've gone for Will Ospreay, and I've gone for Will Ospreay Light. So, sorry, Callum Newman. Like I said, I do think you're improving massively. You're fantastic.
Ben's words, not mine.
That does, guys, bring us to I like the guy, I really do. I am only joking. That does bring us to the end of the week and the end of the show. If you did enjoy, please hit that like button, subscribe. We will be back at the same time next week, same place next week. And also check us out every single day, 8 p.m. UK, 4 p.m. Pacific for this week, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern this week. Then next week, it'll be back to 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Time changes internationally are a headache, but we will see you guys then. Peace.